Welcome back to a educational Vindicta video where I will be explaining my playstyle, build, mistakes, and what you should be doing to unleash the dark horse that is Vindicta. And in case you weren't aware of Vindicta's kit, she has a stake which tethers enemies to a location and is great at holding enemies in place to either engage or escape from them. And additionally, at max levels, enemies are also disarmed, making them unable to fight back. And her 2 ability Flight enables you to leap into the air with forward momentum and fly, dealing bonus spirit damage per bullet. And this ability works very well with stake to either engage or disengage, and when you get to the late game you can fly infinitely, making it impossible for heroes without CC to reach you unless they buy knockdown. And her 2 ability Crow Familiar deals impact damage and a bleed that does damage based off of enemies' current health, and upgrading the ability suppresses enemies so they can't use abilities and reduces healing by a 40%. Again, this combos really well with her kit because 90% of characters rely on healing to sustain in fights and use abilities to either move or deal damage, making this ability extremely strong, especially in 1v1s. And finally, her ultimate Assassinate takes 1 second to fully charge up to deal damage, and it does more damage to enemies below 50% health. Landing killing blows on enemies also grants you an additional 250 souls, and at max rank becomes 850 souls. And considering Vindicta's kit needs items to scale and become a threat, her early game playstyle is to sit back, farm, and punish enemies' mistakes or roam to finish kills. Her ultimate is the cherry on top that enables her to dominate the mid to late game by scaling like crazy. As well, with the recent changes they had, Vindicta's Crow got a 6% buff to weapon damage, as well as the items that she uses got buffed. I know Glass Cannon went from like 6 stacks to 8 stacks or something like that, with the extra 10% damage you get per kill, as well as a variety of other ones. So it's really made her gun damage build where you focus on leveling up flight as soon as you can, and then just flying on the map, shooting people, you know, throwing down your stake to get somebody so they can't move, putting the bleed and suppress on them with your Crow, and then finishing them off with your ultimate enabled that to become so much stronger. In terms of playstyle for Vindicta early game, you are incredibly weak. You have no damage, you have no health, you only have 2 bars of stamina. So if you get caught by any kind of CC, you're more than likely dead, especially in duo lane, because there's twice the damage coming at you. And in particular with this duo lane, we do not have much util or damage early game on my team at all. Between myself and Bebop, we both have very long cooldowns, and as much as his hook is very strong, if he misses it, I'm pretty sure it's down for like 20 seconds early game, and besides his hook, he doesn't have much going for him either. Whereas you look at the other team, they both have early game CC that can be quite strong, as well as a lot of damage to follow up on. So if we ever do get CC'd, we're pretty much dead. But my gameplay this game is to just play passive, just farm, try to focus on souls, and just get to the mid game. And once we get to mid game, we should be able to scale from there. As soon as we get our ultimate, that's when things really start to pick up. Now, ideally with myself and Bebop, our main combo should be him hitting a hook and then me tethering whoever it is he hooks, so that when he uppercuts them, they can't get away. And it should make it significantly easier for us to kill them. I will try to get that off this game, although it is quite difficult to do. I struggle with it a lot in terms of reacting in time. I see him hook somebody in my brain and go, ooh, let's shoot them, not ooh, let's tether them. I'm still kind of getting in that mindset because I don't get too many Bebops. Yeah, so in terms of the first item that I'm going to buy the Velocity Mag. So early game, what we want to do is farm. Velocity Mag makes it significantly easier to farm, because the gun that I have, although it might seem like it's hit scan, it's not. It's still a projectile, and especially if we're sitting back, that little bit of extra speed that the velocity on the bullet gives you makes it significantly easier to get those souls. And now we've been playing really passive the whole game. We've managed to get 3 items now. So I've got headshot and stamina. So the headshot, I believe it's every 6 seconds you get additional damage for hitting a headshot. And the stamina obviously gives you another stamina bar. So it gives us more damage, as well as the ability that if we do get caught out by a CC, whether it be, you know, Warden's one, we have time to get out of it and survive. We can play a bit more aggressive here with our Bebop.
I think aim first's farm has denied like every single time.
You can see here, they finally get that combo off, so they get the CC on me, Warden gets his stun, but the 3 stamina comes in hand, I'm able to run away. Then I throw my tether down, which gets the Warden trapped, so I can easily hit my Crow on him for the Bebop to follow up on, who gets his full damage off on him for free. And we kill Warden, and then I fly up in the air, get some damage off, on old mate whose name I've forgotten, and then we're able to finish him off with Bebop's ultimate. And honestly, that's exactly what I mean, like how you should be playing Vindicta, especially with Bebop here. It's just the enemy oversteps, you kite them out, and then once they run out of mobility, you get to just chase them back down to finish them off. The next core item early game that I picked up is the increased burst damage for my sniper. So it will also affect our other abilities, but the main reason you get it is for the sniper to help confirm those kills when you get it, especially before you have that extra 100 damage upgrade on your ultimate. Makes it a good chunk of damage. I believe it's like 60 or 80 early game. It's pretty good, the Mystic Burst. Now, with both the enemy laners being really low here, I just want to continue pressuring them, push the wave in, force them to have to farm under tower, making it a lot easier for us to steal their farm. Unfortunately, we're managing to get picks here, so... You can see our Bebop is doing a great job. Now that he's managed to get all of his abilities up, he's got his full rotation, we have a bit of damage. We're able to actually kill people when he's comboing them. Still not really able to kill them in just the one hook. It's generally like 2 hooks, so we get somebody low and then he hooks them. But even this early on, we're a pretty lethal threat. So at this point of the game, the first big item we're going to pick up is Sharpshooter. So again, we're playing passive, we're sitting back. So we're going to get plus 35% weapon zoom with this one. You get plus 50% weapon fall off range, which means you can sit further away without your damage falling off. And you get the plus 70% weapon damage as long as you're beyond the minimum distance, which is 15 meters. Combining that with the additional ammo and on top of that, the plus 200 bullet shield, this is an amazing item. You get so much out of it. You get heaps of damage, you get utility. The bullet shield as well. Later on, we're going to get an item that gives us increased damage when we have a bullet shield as well. So that's going to help stack on top of that. And it's just an amazing item. Like, this is by far, it's the tier 3 item you should be getting. One thing I will mention, farming is incredibly important, especially on Vindicta, who's the champion that needs items to scale. But don't be afraid to roam. Like, at the end of the day, your passive gives you a lot of money for getting kills with your ultimate. So, like, if you're farming a wave and then roaming to another lane, even just to hover them, because, like, you can clear waves pretty quick. You can hover somebody to see, if they do go in or maybe they get ganked. In between that, you can also do a jungle camp in between lanes. And then, if you see that they get jumped on or they start fighting, you can stop doing the camp and go help. Because you don't need to be in the fight, you just need to be there to confirm the kill or follow up on the damage to be able to, get the assist at least. Another thing that a lot of people tend to stop doing is once you get to this mid-game point, the souls are worth about 100 at the moment, and I believe another 5 to 10 minutes they'll be worth like 150-ish. So, like, securing your souls is obviously important, but a lot of people just stop shooting them at this point in the game. So if you just stay around when the enemy's farming their wave and just sit there, you can just get a free couple 100 souls every single time. Here you get to see the perfect example of what I mean about why she is so strong. Like, you can engage with Vindicta, but she really stands out when she's peeling for herself or a teammate. I'm sitting here shooting souls and then I hear somebody flanking me, turn around, I tether the warden so he can't chase me, and then I hear Ivy coming for me as well, so I fly up in the air so she can't CC me. And the whole time, I'm just shooting her in the face and there's not much she can do about it. She's just copying it. Like, if she turns and runs at this point, she's so in the open that I'm going to kill her. And the next cool item we have is Quicksilver Reload. Now, this is a huge part of her kit, especially in the mid game. We set it on our ultimate so that whenever we use it, it will automatically read our icon instantly. And it's on a pretty short cooldown too, so more often than not, you get to just back-to-back reload unless you're unloading your whole mag straight away, then you're not going to. But it significantly increases our damage. Additionally, the next couple core items we're going to be picking up is the combat barrier. So I mentioned earlier with the long range we had the bullet shield. Well, the combat barrier gives us another 300 bullet shield. It then makes it so we do plus 28% weapon damage while we have a bullet shield, and we get a 8% fire rate as well. So it's a huge damage boost as well as survivability. And it's only $12.50, which is incredibly cheap for what it offers. And the next one we're going to be getting is Enduring Speed. So this one's pretty straightforward. Reduces movement slow, so we can get away faster. Because a lot of people, if they're engaged type characters, are going to be buying the whip item that slows you, as well as just having it in their abilities. Additionally, it gives us health, it gives us regen, it gives us movement speed. The movement speed is huge. While we're moving around the map farming, it helps us get around quicker. But also, while you're in your 2, the movement speed affects you, so you can move incredibly fast if you buy movement speed items. That makes it really hard for people to hit you, as well as making it really easy for you to chase people down or run. For the next cool items, we're going to be getting improved burst. So improved burst is essentially just the same as the earlier improved burst item we got, except now it also gives us a spirit shield, it gives us 8% weapon damage, and the big one being that it gives us 9% bonus health damage. So, you know, if you shoot somebody, you do, what is it, like 125 damage to them, then you will also do an additional 9% of their max health damage, which makes it really good at finishing people off with your sniper, because it's not current health, it's max health. So if you shoot an Abrams with like 3k health, you're doing like almost 300 damage on top of what your sniper shot would actually be doing to him. The next big one is Pristine Emblem. So again, we're building on top of our ultimate here. So we've got the increased weapon damage if they are above 50% health. So our ultimate does additional damage when they're below 50% health. So this combos really well with getting them down to that threshold to start doing that bonus damage, as well as the fact that it gives us spirit resist, weapon damage, and the spirit power. At this point of the game, you kind of just have to play it by ear. Just having a quick look at the map, you can see that my Infernus is currently uncontested. They're down 3, they've just killed 1 in blue, and we see 2 more people in green lane. So I pretty much just have freedom to push this walker and take it. And I can run away quickly enough, and I have enough util to peel for myself, or if I need to, worst comes to worst, I can quickly run to the blue lane, potentially even the green lane, and Infernus can get out on his own. So I am also incredibly strong at taking the walkers. As you notice, my damage is insane here, and then as soon as I run out of ammo, I can just snipe it with my ultimate, quickly get a reload in, and then just finish it off. So if you ever get to a point where you're either still too weak to fight because you struggled early, or you are at a point of the game where you need to be able to take the walkers to be able to get more slots for items, just go split push. As long as you pay attention, just look where the enemy could be so you have an idea of how many people could be coming at you. If it's any more than like 1, maybe 2, depending on how fed you are and depending on who it could be, you really don't want to risk it. Like, you can walk up, push a wave in, see if anybody comes. If you see them appear on the rest of the map, then do it. But Vindicta is great at split pushing.
So, oh my god. Unlucky bears. Could care less.
Okay, and the next big items we're going to be getting are Sharpshooter and Headhunter. So Sharpshooter is a huge increase to our damage. A lot of the items so far we've had, I've had like 25% increase. This one is a 14% weapon damage increase, regardless of any conditions, and then an additional 70% as long as you're more than 15 meters from the target. You get more ammo, your fall off range is increased, you get bigger zoom, not that that really matters, and you also get a plus 200 bullet shield. So overall, this is huge for your damage. Like, once you get this item, and if you're not already taking fights, like, go ahead and take them at this point. As long as you're able to stay more than 15 meters from the enemy, it's a massive damage increase. And then Headhunter as well, big damage increase. You're again getting the flat 14% weapon damage increase, but you're also getting 50% bullet velocity, which adds on to the Sharpshooter really well because you need to sit further away to get that plus 70% damage. So having the faster bullet velocity makes it easier to hit those shots. You also get a flat 15% weapon damage increase again, as well as another 150 bullet shield. This one also, whenever you do hit a headshot, will do 140% headshot bonus damage, heal you for 8%, and gives you movement speed, I believe, for like 3 seconds. So it's really good for enabling you to just sustain and kite as well. You can see here, as soon as I get those 2 items, I immediately get on a fight, and fair enough, I did have multiple teammates and they were already kind of low, but I absolutely melted them.
No.
There's a great use of our tether there. So we use the tether to lock down Yamato, get some damage on her, and then we have Warden coming us. We fly up in the air, kite him, and then he comes back in a second time for some reason, so we tether him, finish him off. And then again, their team all decides to come, and I'm just sitting up here, just, pumping out damage, uncontested, finishing off kills, getting even more gold, getting even more of a lead. Means more damage. Makes it so easy to win these team fights. Now, bear in mind, of course, this game, I'm going to assume, isn't the best of the best. Most people at this point, seeing me being this fed, would be buying Knockdown, but I guess they're so far behind in gold or souls that not really on their mind, or maybe they're not aware of it. So if you ever do verse a Vindicta or anyone else that can fly in the air that's really strong, make sure you buy Knockdown, because the characters like the enemy team that can't contest me up in the air, they really needed to bring me back down to the ground. I believe it's like a short delay and then a 2-second stun, so it's really annoying to verse. At this point in the game, we're so fed we just kind of want to start pressuring the enemy, we want to start sieging their base, looking to end the game. For whatever reason, we have two teammates that are just across the map not really doing anything, and Calvin was dead, so we do need to still be a little careful here. But if you ever are in these situations and you're, the two people that are across the map farming your jungle, ideally what you want to do is you want to push, you want to take objectives. So right now we could be getting the shrine, you can see it's really low health, and then we can back off, we can base, then we can come back, farm all of our jungle, and then siege again. Being split like this isn't the greatest. And while they're down so many people, we shouldn't be farming our jungle, we need to be pressuring. The other thing is here, you might notice, is that it's kind of awkward to push in. Like, it helps that my team's fully in here at the moment, but prior to that, like, I had to stand back and kind of just shoot minions and wait for my team to keep pressuring the enemy and force them back. Because if I come in and the enemy happens to catch me off guard, or like someone comes up from behind me, or maybe they're already waiting on the high ground and I wasn't ready for them, it's really easy to get caught off guard. So make sure you play slow, let your team kind of push in. And I've had games where my team's not able to push in, and it is a struggle to be able to siege the base. A lot of the times it helps to kind of just push everything in, take the waves, go get mid boss, farm for a bit and let the enemy team come out and then take a team fight so you can get 1 or 2 picks and then siege. Because otherwise it can be very difficult to get in. This is the fun part about Vindicta, you just get to sit back and farm at enemies. Like, once your team's pushed in, they're all fighting them, you just get to sit here, fly up in the air and just rain down damage. It gets even better once you pick up the final tier of the cooldown item. You literally have infinite flight. As long as you stay in the air for your whole flight, by the time your flight ends, it's back up again, because the cooldown, in case you haven't noticed, is ticking down even while I'm in the air, which is amazing. It makes games like this where the enemy has no one to contest me, hasn't brought knockdown to bring me down to the ground. Just like, I'm untouchable. See, this poor warden's so tilted, he's just come running down trying to kill me. He was the same guy that was complaining earlier about trying to shoot a 16-year-old for 20 damage. And that just about wraps it up for this one. So if you enjoyed the video, let me know down below and leave a like and subscribe. If you have any other characters you want to see me play, or maybe you want to see more guides on a different character, or even on Vindicta, maybe you want to see me, have a game where I struggle and manage to come back, or I don't know, have a game where I just absolutely dominate to see how it is I went about doing that, let me know and I'll be sure to upload something like that. As well, if you'd like to see me try my best to do a live commentary and, say what it is that's going through my head, I'll give that a shot, but though it is a struggle to talk while playing this game. The kind of person that gets very focused, but I'll see what I can do. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching. See ya.